Hello again, Professor Nigel Krieger here. Now, when I'm not working for top-secret security agencies with questionable recruiting policies and even more questionable staff, I work at the Kitacon Further Learning Institute as a professor in archaeology and archaeological drinking studies. Cheers. It was during the course of my very important work that I discovered a fascinating artifact from one of our recent pub archaeological digs. Film footage from the very first Kitacon. Now, I'm not talking about Kitacon 1 in 2009. What very few people realise is that the very first Kita was Kitacon 0 in 1900, or the Kitacon Exposition as it was called at the time. An exceptionally forward-thinking convention for its time, it used the latest technology from that year's Paris Exposition to present its attendees with one of the very first examples of matched projected images and recorded sound. It was only a short film presentation concerning convention information and health and safety, but it provides a fascinating insight into the past and illustrates that despite the over 100-year gap, there are some things that are just as relevant today as they were back in 1900. Enjoy!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the inaugural Kitacon Exposition, a celebration of artistic endeavours, shadow puppetry, and projection imagery from the exotic Eastern realms. Upon arrival at the exposition, you will have been presented with your membership papers. These should be worn in a prominent location for the duration of the exposition to allow staff to easily identify those who are permitted to members-only areas. You should also have received your exposition satchel, which will contain your exposition program book, timetable of events, and a selection of Eastern-themed curios, including a sample of the 3rd Urotsukidoji Dynasty's Cursed Tea Ceremony set. Information! In order for you to gain the full enjoyment and edification from your weekend, we now present the following to prevent harm to your person, but perhaps most importantly, to ensure that you avoid any social faux pas that cause embarrassment in the presence of the social elite. Hygiene. While the manly scent of a gentleman who has spent days on horseback hunting wild boar, foxes, or members of the working class is perfectly acceptable at the hunting club, it is generally frowned upon to go without at least one wash a day at exposition events. Regular washing will not only ensure that your peers will want to associate with you, but it will also make you more appealing to the fairer members of society. Remember that in these modern times, members of the fairer sex can now often be found at expositions of Eastern culture, and as many as 4.5 women were reported to have attended the nation's last exposition event. Decorum. The stimulation caused by the vibrant imagery and displays of the exposition can sometimes cause a breakdown in an individual's higher brain functions. This will cause unsettling outbursts of exuberance and facial expressions unbecoming of a gentleman. Remember, you must maintain a decorous demeanour at all times, as befits your status. Should you begin to falter, immediately signal your manservant to take appropriate action. Subjects of an adult nature. While attending the exposition, you may encounter materials of an adult nature. While a gentleman of polite society would not normally countenance looking at such materials, you must remember that you are attending an event designed to showcase and celebrate cultural diversity. As such, it is expected that you approach these topics with an open mind. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Ooh, 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 Safety! And finally, In the interests of safety, we request you refrain from unnecessary running, overfamiliar aggressive invasion of personal space, and talking to the working class. We also request you don't accidentally break your cursed tea-set sample, or use it in any dark eldritch ceremonies involving human sacrifice. It creates unnecessary mess, and could result in calling forth the old gods into our reality, to tear our screaming souls from our bodies to be tortured and consumed for eternity. You are now ready to embark on your Kitacon exposition adventure. Good luck, and Godspeed!